Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday today. We have a few announcements this morning. Junior Spirit Committee meets every afternoon in room 231 except on Fridays, and meetings will end by 4:45. If you're on homecoming court this year, please make sure to pick up your information packet from Ms. Bishop in room 230. The homecoming dance dress-up days and all homecoming information is been emailed to every student's email account. The dance will be Saturday, September 17th, and it will be held at the American Village Farm from 7 to 11. Tickets will be $10 each and will go until Tuesday, September 6th during lunch. If you have any questions about homecoming, please see Ms. Holbrook. Thompson High School SGA has an Instagram that they would like for you to follow for announcements and any updates they have on school events. That's thompson.sga on Instagram. All co-op students, please check your school email. There are Warrior Life t-shirts for sale in the library, and they're $5 each. Senior yearbook ad forms can be picked up in the library, and yearbooks from last year and this year are on sale. So if you want to buy one of those, you can buy those in the library as well. Powder Puff registration is open now. The game will be Thursday, September 22nd at 6 p.m. at the stadium. The cost to participate is $25 for players and cheerleaders and $10 for coaches, and includes a t-shirt. Registration forms can be picked up from Ms. Testone in room 125 before or after school or in between classes. The deadline to register is September 7th. The dress-up game for this Friday is Decades Day. Let's throw back Tuscaloosa and dress from your favorite decade.
Today's Wednesday. Alright, here we go. So when you distribute, so Jacob, can you tell me what 7f times 3f squared is? Very good. 21f cubed. You have 1f and 2f, which is f to the third. Alright, William, can you tell me what 7f times 1f is? Very good. Positive 7f squared. And then, Aaron, can you tell me what 7f times negative 8 is? Perfect. Very good. Very good, very good. Alright, number 2. You got a hexagon, A, B, C, D, E, F, shown below, was drawn in a grid with unit squares. Each vertex is at an intersection of two grid lines. What is the area of a hexagon in square units? So guys, how many solid squares are there? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, right? We've got 18 solid squares. You see these extra pieces that we have? These two pieces right here? Y'all see those? Okay, you can't forget about those. So which one should I mark out? I have 18 and I've got more. Yeah, but each of them's half. So like this little piece and this little piece is half. This one? Okay. So if each of those are halves, this is a half, a whole. Both of these halves make a whole. So 18 plus a whole is how much? 20. There you go. Y'all okay? Alright, what about 3? The sum of the real numbers x and y. So what's sum mean? Add. So I'm going to add x and y, right? And what do I do with 11? What does is 11 mean? Equals 11, right? We just took a test on this on Friday. Their difference, so difference means to subtract, is 5. So is 5 means equals 5, right? So what does it mean when it says their difference? What am I subtracting? X and y, right? What is the value of x times y? So I need to find x and I need to find y. So this is what we're going to start next unit. Remember elimination from Algebra 1? How do I get rid of y minus y? Do I add those or would I subtract those? What numbers are here? 1, right? So if you need to, type in your calculator 1 plus negative 1 or 1 minus negative 1. See which one makes them be 0. Plus, right? So add these up. What's x plus x? Come on, guys. 2x. Y'all said these went away, right? Equals, add these. 16. Divide, and x equals 8, right? So now how do I, if I know x is 8, how do I solve for y? Plug it back in, right? X plus y equals 11. 8 plus y equals 11. Subtract the 8. And y equals 3. So x times y is 8 times 3, which is 24. Y'all okay with that? ACT at its best right there. Okay, we're going to do two things first. The first thing we're going to do is take your perfect squares quiz, 1 through 15. So you cannot have a calculator or your cell phone. So put both of them away and put all your notes away. Grab one clean sheet of paper and put your name on it. If you want to share like a half sheet of paper with somebody, that's fine, because you don't need a whole piece of paper. Alright, so just a refresher, Tyler, we're on page 5 on your notes we just started. No. Page 4. I thought we finished this yesterday, but we didn't. Alright, so here we go. Let's look at the title. So the title is Linear Relations and Functions, okay? So you've got relations that have straight lines are linear. If it's a straight line, it's called linear. Straight line, linear. Alright, relations that are not linear are called nonlinear. It's pretty easy. Alright, so you've got an equation like x plus y equals 5. It's called a linear equation. And a linear equation has no operations other than addition and subtraction, and you can multiply a variable by a constant. Okay, so what's that mean? Give me a number. 2. So you can say 2 times y. That's perfectly okay to say a variable times a constant. That's okay. And you can also have no operations other than addition and subtraction. So you can say x plus y. You can say y minus x. Those are perfectly okay. Everybody good with that?
I don't get what you mean by relations that are not linear are called non-linear relations. I don't get what you mean.
Straight line. If it's a straight line, it's linear.
Like on what kind of graph?
A line.
Just like that.
Alright, what else? We got the variables may not be multiplied together. So they cannot be multiplied together. So you can't have x times y. Cannot have that. And they also cannot appear in the denominator. Where's the denominator in a fraction? On the top or on the bottom? On the bottom. So give me another number. 2. You can't have 2 over x, okay? And a linear equation does not contain variables with exponents other than 1. So you cannot have x squared. You cannot have y cubed. Does that make sense? They've got to be exponents of 1, like these. And the graph of a linear equation is always a straight line. Alright, so let's write that so that we can really read it. We got 3 characteristics. What can you not have first? First thing that you cannot have was you had to have only adding and subtracting, right? You can only say x plus y equals 5. And the exponents has to be 1. Or you could say x minus y equals 5. Alright, what can you not have? You may not have the variables multiplied together. So cannot have x times y. And you also cannot have in the denominator. So cannot be, what did y'all say, 2 over x? Okay, so I'll give you an example. So do you see how you're subtracting? You're okay with subtracting, right? And your exponents are all 1s. And that's okay. Look at this one. What's wrong with this? You have an exponent of 2. That's why it's nonlinear. It's not a straight line because it has an exponent of 2. Alright, so, and then a linear function is a function with ordered pairs that satisfy a linear equation. So let's look at number 1. We're going to take this slow, okay? If it's linear, if it's a straight line, then that means it's a linear equation. That means you've got an equal sign that has a linear equation in it. Alright, let's look at number 1. So is this a function or is this not a function? So do I have exponents of 1? Yes. Am I subtracting my letters? Yes. So this is linear. This is a function. Alright, what about number 2? Do you remember what f of x was the same as? It's the same as y, right? Same as y. Is this a function or not a function? No. And it said explain why. Why? Because the x is in the bottom, yep. Because x is in the denominator. Alright, let's see if we can get through a couple on the back. So let's go to page 5. Alright, what about number 3? G of x is the same as y, right? No, this is not a function because you see how the x and y are multiplied together? You cannot have that together. No, because you have x times y. Alright, what about number 4? That is a function. So on your workbook stuff that you just did, you know you had graphing. Do you remember that equation for graphing y equals mx plus b? There you go. B is your number by itself. B does not have a letter. So 19 does not have a letter. So 19 is your b, right? So what about your slope? If there's nothing here at all, then what's your slope? It's 0. It's not 1, because there wasn't anything at all there. Yes, sir.
Are we ever going to do graphing?
Oh, yeah. He's been graphing since 7th grade, though. But we will.
How do I get changed up?
We'll talk about that later, not right now in the middle of. Jack, we'll talk about that later, not right now in the middle of the lesson. So this is a function, okay? What about number 5? So you've got subtraction, right? You're good with subtraction? This letter is not in the bottom. So is this a function or not a function? Yes, it is a function. There you go. Alright, what about this? No. Because of the exponent. Everybody good with that? Alright, let's finish this last thing. We got about 4 minutes left. Alright, so any linear equation can be written in standard form. You did this in 9th grade. I know it's been a minute, but I'm going to reteach you because that's what's on the bottom, okay? Alright, so let's look at this. It needs to be in this form. A, B, and C, it says are integers. What were integers? Do you remember? We just did them last unit. This was the Z. What were integers? It would help if you were not on your phone and you were watching this. What's integers? Huh? Jack, I didn't say your name, dear. What are integers, guys? Positive or negative number. Thank you, Blake. Alright, so you gotta have a greatest common factor of 1. So your x is gonna come first, then your y, and then your number by itself, okay? So let's look at number 1. Your x is over here, right? But which one am I missing? Which one needs to come over here? The 4y, right? So I'm gonna subtract him. So when I subtract him, this has to go in a certain order. My x comes first, so it's a positive 2x, and then a negative 4y, and then equals negative 1. Okay with that? And then you can't have greatest common factor. Remember we abbreviated that as GCF? So your GCF can only be 1. What is the biggest number that goes into 2, 4, and 1? The biggest number that goes into all 3 of them. Just 1, right, Jonathan? So then you are finished. Alright, let's do number 2, then we'll call it a day. Alright, so you've got your y over here, right? But this says that you have to have x and y on the other side. So how do I move this 2x? There you go. Very nice, very nice. Alright, so the x has to come first. Even though it's negative, you still got to write that negative 2x first. Then this is a positive 5y. And then equals 3. Alright, here's the only thing though. You cannot have a negative in the front. So to get rid of it, you just divide everything by negative 1. So negative 2 divided by negative 1 is positive 2. 5 divided by negative 1 is negative 5. And 3 divided by negative 1 is negative 3. Because you don't want this leading one to be negative, but the x does have to be in the front. Alright guys, we'll call that a day for the day. So we'll do our homework tomorrow in class, but that workbook page 13 and 14, that is your homework if you didn't finish it, okay? Guys, come see me if you're having issues. Just come see me, okay? Come see me in the morning, come see me in the afternoon, send me an email. Just come see me if you need help.